Welcome to our September expenses and income chat. Firstly, I'd like to kick off with a bit of a question talk chat about retirement. What age, you think you can retire or should retire? You always get mixed opinions when in this conversation about, especially people who meet us and we tell them straight off the bat.
We say we're semi-retired, and they're like,
Yeah.
how can you be? Because how old are you?
Yeah, and you get some real mixed emotions when, especially meeting people for the first time, and you explain to them, like they ask you about your job, and you say, "Oh no, I'm semi-retired. I'm just doing this sort of for a bit of pocket money and a bit of fun." And either people get sort of curious and want to know more, or they sort of get angry and shut down and don't want to know anymore. And then I listened to a podcast recently just about retirement age, about your pension, superannuation, when you can access it, all that sort of stuff. And it was quite interesting as well. So we thought we'd just kick this off with that topic and then go into our expenses and income after that.
Well, the big thing with that podcast was talking about when you can actually access your super. Everyone sort of has it in their head, retirement age, which is age pension age at 67.
Exactly, for Australians. Yeah.
For Australians, but that's not the case with your superannuation access and all sorts of stuff. So
Yeah, in certain cases, you can access it.
you've obviously got to meet
at
criteria.
60, and if you're going to do that, you'd probably definitely want to see a professional financial advisor to advise you on that sort of path. But it just made me start thinking about all the conversations we've had with people about our journey in semi-retirement and then in actual retirement, like when people can do that, because a lot of people like I've worked with, I've met recently, everyone sort of thinks you're close to the 70 or 67 mark is then, but there is no rule. Like there's no set in stone spot where this is the age you have to retire. And a lot of people from early on just think that, that's what their parents did, that's what their grandparents did, and all that sort of stuff, and that sort of ticks over and becomes more of a culture than more of a than an actual rule. But a lot of people think it's like a rule, but it's not. And all rules can be broken or hacked. But yeah, the conversation I had with this person recently, they'd been in a job for nearly 4 decades and worked the same job, and that real similar story that you hear all the time where people have just sort of either love their job or like their job or whatever.
Or they go into like a secure workplace, they've got raising a family, kids are going to school.
Yeah.
It's, a guaranteed
boxes.
job, so why wouldn't you stay in it?
Exactly.
When you're in that situation.
Yeah.
But it's making people realise, like, you can set yourself up to not be locked into that.
Yeah, exactly. And when I chatted to him for the first time, we sort of had a bit of a to and fro, introducing ourselves. What are you doing? We doing this job. What do you do? He does this job. And we sort of told each other over a half-hour conversation our sort of a little bit of our life
story,
as you do. And then a couple of days later, I seen him again, and he'd obviously been ticking in his head and had a bit of a think about it. And yeah, his whole, the attitude had sort of changed, and he was like, he was older than me, and had obviously, his kids had grown up and moved out. So he was at a stage in his life where, I don't know exactly what age he was. I don't think he would have been 60, but he was at an age where he was like, shit, what am I doing? Kind of thing. He almost had this epiphany, and then he started asking us more questions, and it was quite an interesting conversation. You could see his brain just start to tick over, and he was asking himself questions and then asking me questions. And so it's an interesting topic that people, I think, have to ask themselves, especially in later life. I've read books and podcasts and stuff of people who've retired in their 30s, obviously have been very frugal and got all their ducks in a row quite early. But yeah, if it goes down to choices and sacrifices, I think is the big thing for us anyway in our journey.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And then that sort of conversation with that fellow going backwards and forth, We just thought we'd touch on sort of a little bit of our story and the mental sort of preparation that we did to become semi-retired. And I think I never really called ourselves semi-retired until maybe our 3rd year in.
Yeah.
And so it was really like set in
Like,
stone that we
were making it work.
had a system and
Yeah.
it was working.
I guess I think the big thing a lot of people sort of ask questions about and sort of mention is they just go, oh, I don't know if I could do it, like, you know, just leave my job.
Yeah.
And we've done it a few times. I guess that's another side of it, is that this isn't the first time that we just decided we're just going to pack up and quit our jobs and go do something completely different.
So mentally
we already sort of got ourselves prepared for that sort of thing. And the big thing that we say over and over again to people is, but if it doesn't work, you can just go home.
Yeah.
You know?
You can just go back to what you were doing before.
Yeah,
you know?
there's nothing set
plenty
that
of jobs
just
out
because
there.
you've made this decision now, it doesn't mean you have to keep doing it if it's not working for you. You know, I see lots of people that, you know, head off on these like laps and long-term holiday plans, don't get too far down the road and decide it's not for them.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, if that's not for you. Obviously, we're not doing the laps and things like that. You know, we're making this more of a lifestyle, moving between like different work at different times and trying to minimise the amount of time we work and maximise the amount of time we get to do everything else, hence semi-retired. But the big thing is just like give it a go. Like, if it's something that you're interested in, set a small goal to start with and see where you end up.
The simplest way, I think, to explain just semi-retirement even is like you want to work less and live more.
Yep.
Like, just that. It's not always about, definitely not what we're doing of like selling everything and packing up and going and renting your house out and just traveling and doing all sorts of stuff. It's not always about that. It might be, you can your employer might let you do a 9-day fortnight, 8-day fortnight, and you
may still
realise-
be living in your same house and
yeah, for sure.
living your same life, and you're like, no one's saying you have to pack up and leave everything.
Yeah, that's
Like-
it. Like, semi-retirement is always about doing more things that you want to do and doing less work that you
have to do.
have to do. So everyone sort of almost, I think a bit of social media and that sort of puts it in a perspective of like, you know, quitting your job and spending $300,000 on a setup and hitting
Plus.
the road and doing all that sort of thing. But I think you got to keep it simple and do small steps to start with and sort of transition into that. Like, a lot of people could stay in their same job they've even been doing for decades and stuff like that, but just organise more of a work structure around your life,
Work-life balance.
not their schedule. And so I think that's a big thing. But I think the mental thing of that, and we've heard it so many people through friends, family, everyone, they kind of sit on the fence and want to do similar lifestyle to us, but not just travel, but just have more time to do what they want to do. But they're just mentally, they're just not there to like take that step. And I don't think anyone is ever ready to take that step. Like, you're not going to know unless you do it. Sort of thing. But then I think the biggest thing in the end as well is to, if you're not too sure, seek professional advice. Like, that's why a good financial advisor, find a good financial advisor, and they'll put you in the right direction of what sort of plan you want to do, because it all comes down also in the end, unfortunately, to how much expenses you've got. And that's why we do these monthly expenses, just to show people our expenses and income and stuff coming in and out, and how we are able to go forward in this journey. So I think that's a big thing, like small steps, and if you really want it, you got to give it a go. And the other big thing I think I hear a lot as well is definitely if you're in a relationship, both parties have got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Like, I know a couple that I've read online, their semi-retirement was literally taking every Friday off. So they had kids, and kids' weekends would be all about sport, and then obviously the mum and dad were working Monday to Friday, and they never had that time together, or they never had time to go and do their own thing. So they negotiated, they sought financial advice, they worked out that they could both take a day off every week and had that sort of scenario. So they had Fridays off, and they could, you know, he could go fishing if he wanted to, or every second week they'd do whatever, they'd go on go pub meal together or something, but had that time together as a relationship, so it becomes healthy as a relationship, as well as just for your mind and everything.
Yeah.
They obviously had to sacrifice a little bit of money and a bit of income, 20% of their income, but I think mentally you're never
Gaining a lot more than that.
you're never going to regret it. So yeah, it's something to think about, and I urge everyone to have a bit of a think about it. What's retirement to everyone? What does people think? Because if you're listening to this and you think it's retirement 67, it's not.
It's not. And like, look into your own situation. Like, look into your super fund. See when you can access it. What criteria do you need to meet to be able to access it? You know, especially if you are, you know, approaching 60 and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Your options might change.
You're only going to get older, and the older you get, the less health you have, really. The less chance you have of not having your health and your accessibility to stuff. So, I reckon retirement age should be bloody 40. Go. Anyway, we'll roll on to our expenses and income for the month, which is a pretty good month for us.
Pretty good month.
Our best for the year.
Yeah. So as we were saying in last month, because of the structure of September, we actually ended up with 3 pays this month. So
Cook the books.
Cook the books a little bit. Also a really good month for our share portfolio with dividend payments. So all of that, all into September, made it pretty good.
September's a big div month.
Yeah. So income for this month was just under $10,500 through all of that, which obviously is not a regular thing. This is why we track expenses and income and all the rest, so that you sort of see where we're at, when we're making money and where we're not making money, like balancing all of that out. So obviously, big thing was wages, dividends, and then a bit of money off YouTube and the website. Just topped all that up as well. So very much in the green, because our expenses this month were under $2,500.
Boom.
So nearly $8,000 in the green this month.
Yeah, that's good, eh?
Very
Brings us
good.
back up. So for the year, at the moment, we're going to do a calendar year at the end of how much we earned for the year and how much we spent, and this month put us back into the green. So we're actually in front, which is awesome. Which is what you want to do,
change.
obviously. Yeah.
We need to go a little bit more ahead before more expenses happen.
And I think we've got another, we haven't done our tax yet as well, so we've got to get onto that soon.
Yes.
In the next month or so. And
just trying to find
so
some spare time. This semi-retirement thing is busy.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't tell you. I actually become busier.
Oh, way busier.
Everyone thinks you're just a dull bludger.
Yeah. You're just sitting around doing nothing.
Jed and Kel just sit with their feet on the fucking lagoon.
Drinking beers and fishing
all day. I've got way too many hobbies, and we've got nearly 3 or 4 little businesses that we run, a charity.
Business charity.
And all this, anyway. And then you got to try and fit in a little bit of actual work from time to time.
A lot of actual work at the moment.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, so when we tax time as well, another good thing, and we've probably pointed out this in the past, and we will touch on it when we get our tax check back, is because we only work small portions and we're not doing a whole job over the whole year. And it actually becomes good because obviously your income's a lot lower. So for me, I've worked jobs where I'm still earning my tradesman wage, but only on 3 or 4 month blocks at a time. So when tax time comes, I've been taxed at the massive rate, but when tax time comes out, they obviously pay you back a shit ton of money. So it's pretty good.
Yeah,
so it's not too bad.
Works out well.
So tax for us is usually a pretty good bonus.
Yeah.
Because we've still got a house we rent out, and there's a lot of expenses on that sort of thing, just maintaining that house.
Rates.
And rates and all that sort of stuff. So it's like a tax depreciation schedule all on your house and stuff like that. So it works out pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. But this is one of the best months we've had in terms of our expenses being so low and income so high. So it's pretty good. Yeah, so with the expenses, it was obviously pretty low, but majority of that was nearly $800 of car and van maintenance, and We had some regos for the boat and insurance for the caravan. We're paying monthly at the moment till we get a good one locked in. We also Kel did a big order for inside the van for all the
suction
basket
cup
things and whatever. So we did a bit of that.
Draw liners and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
a few little mods for that sort of stuff. And then we had a monthly ongoings were a little bit bigger. We did a couple of little investments on some stuff. And also we got Starlink and all those sort of bits and pieces. But other than that, majority a little bit of alcohol and some beers and whatever. But yeah, that's why it was pretty low and pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, of the main categories that we do in our income and expenses, the big three ones are usually fuel, accommodation, and groceries. Like when we're traveling.
Yeah.
We don't have any of those expenses out here.
Just beers.
Beers and wine is all it really costs us to be here, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good, eh? It's pretty good. It's the bonus of any sort
This
of
kind of
caretaking gig, if you negotiate that with your employer or whatever. It's majority of it, your income's going to be lower than what you get. I think we worked out, we get around $10 an hour, but obviously a lot of bits and pieces are paid for.
So looking forward to October. At this stage, nothing. We're sort of expecting a similar month to this month, other than obviously not having the 3 pays and all the div payments and all those sorts of things. But as far as expenses, it should just be all our monthly stuff. Probably do another beer order at some point, get some more beers and wine to get us through till the end of our stint here. Maybe a few bits and pieces for the van, but the big thing now is going to be, because we are so limited with mail planes and things like that, it's now getting to the point where we're probably only out here for another 6 weeks or so. So anything that we order, we need to know that we'll get it. Otherwise, it's not worth it. And we'll just have to wait for the wet season and get stuff there.
That's about it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let us know, like obviously talking about like retirement and stuff at the start, you know, if there's anything specific about like semi-retirement in the way we've done it, those sorts of things that, you know, you're curious about, chuck a question below and we can sort of see what we can, if we can provide any information to make it helpful for you. Obviously, the more people doing this, the better as far as we're concerned, because it's a bloody good life.
It's awesome. Do try it. Do you want me to leave you with a little wisdom quote?
Oh, here we go. Sure.
All right.
Don't fuck it up.
The most dangerous risk of all is the risk of spending your whole life not doing what you want to do on the bet that you can buy yourself the freedom to do it later. Boom.
Mic drop.
That's it.